with Street Corner Symphony. Are y'all familiar with Street Corner Symphony? Okay, so Street Corner Symphony was on the sing-off 2 years before Home Free. They used to have a bass singer named Adam Chance. Oops, they don't have him anymore. And they shared
Adam
an agent.
was the bass in Street Corner?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Okay, go on, sorry.
Did you actually know him when we saw you in the airport, or were you just pretending like, oh yeah, hey?
No, I knew him, but it took me...
You just didn't know what he did.
I didn't know, I forgot that he sang bass, or I didn't realize that.
It's pretty wild.
It's funny to me now, knowing him.
And it's also funny to look back to, it was probably about 15 years ago, I saw Ernie at a concert. I was seeing Eric Hutchinson at the House of Blues in Anaheim, I believe. And Ernie was there, and I was like, oh my God, that's Ernie Halter over there. But I'm not going to bother him, because I know what that's like. He's just trying to enjoy this show, and he's probably too cool to talk to me anyway. It's funny, now I know him, and he's just like such a nerd. But anyway, back then he had this mystique, you know, like when he was in the hammock over there with the sexy indifference moments ago. And so anyway, fortunately, years later, I'm in an airport with Adam Chance, and I'm like, there's Ernie Halter. And Chance is like, well, I kind of know him. And I'm like, well, introduce me immediately. And we walk over there, and he's like, hey, Ernie, this is my bandmate Tim. I was like, sup? What do you do? Anyway, it's wild. So we met each other then, and then I like sent him a couple of messages, but from my like personal, you know, Facebook page. So he didn't know what that meant. You know, he didn't know who this person was messaging him. And he didn't really know much about Home Free either, really, which is fine. But then he was doing a CD release show in Nashville, Tennessee, at a pretty small like bar that I just like to go see live music at recently. So I just happened to be checking their calendar, and they shouldn't have put this on there because it was a private CD release show for his supporters. But they made the mistake of putting Ernie Halter on there. And I check his website, and it's not there. So I sent him a message. I'm like, "Are you gonna be at the local?" And he's
I
like,
just thought you were a backer, so I didn't...
You should have verified that I had not supported you and was not eligible to be at this thing.
I pretty much know all my backers, and I recognize their names, so I didn't recognize yours, but then I was like, huh, that's weird. And then I just kind of moved on, I guess.
Keep in mind, like, you know, it's not uncommon for me to get recognized, but it like doesn't happen probably as much as some of y'all think. But this was like not that long after the sing-off. And so I go to his CD release show, and the whole night people are coming up to him saying, Tim Faust is here. And he's like, who? And then I am in line at the end of the night to meet him. And while I'm waiting in line to meet him, people are coming up and asking for my photo, which at the time I'm just like, I hope he's seeing this. Anyway, finally we kind of get to know each other, and he realizes like, oh, you're Tim Faust. Oh, and you're also Timothy Reagan. And okay, it all makes sense now. Oh, that's what Home Free is. Okay. And anyway, I played the one card I had, because again, I'm trying to look cool and impress this guy, and I'm just like, so, I don't know if you're busy tomorrow night, but we're playing the Grand Ole Opry if you want to like come hang out. And shockingly, he had been in Nashville for 10 years, and he had never been to the Grand Ole Opry. And so I get him backstage.
On stage.
That's true.
Because they have seats at the Opry. You can sit and watch the show. I was freaking out.
But here's the thing. As much of a fan of his music as I am, Rob is an even bigger fan. So now Rob is pooping his pants backstage at the Opry because now he's got to sing in front of Ernie Halter. Anyway, you'll see why here in a second. It's about to get steamy here in Oregon, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for Ernie Halter.
Thank you. I still think you're making that up, but thanks anyways. Tim Faust, y'all.